Well, we are following breaking news out of Santa Fe. One woman is dead and a man is hurt after a shooting involving a New Mexico State police officer.
Here's what we know right now from New Mexico State Police. About 1 o'clock this morning, police are trying to pull over a car for driving erratically. We're told the car took off. That's when the chase started. Then about 19 minutes later, a call came in about shots being fired. Once again, one woman is dead. A man is hurt and is now at the hospital. State police are investigating. And here's what you need to know as you head out the door this morning up there. Camino Carlos Rey is closed from Rodeo Road to Siringo Road while police investigate. Again, it's Camino Carlos Rey, closed from Rodeo Road to Siringo Road. News 13 Samantha McDonald is on the way. She's almost up there. We'll get more information from her as soon as we can. 6:01 now, and some other news this morning. The tweets have been deleted, but the damage is already done.
The superintendent with the Albuquerque Public School District is apologizing. He says he didn't mean to call the state's education secretary a farm animal. Superintendent Winston Brooks says the tweets were inappropriate, plain and simple. The education secretary and governor agree, but went a step further.
I find it very disturbing, disappointing, childish to think that someone in his position should behave that way. He should be an example, and he's not to young people.
The strong words there coming from Governor Susana Martinez stem from a couple of tweets the superintendent sent last week about Education Secretary designate Handa Scandera. Yesterday, he summarized what he said while exchanging tweets with a reporter about Scandera. Winston Brooks says that he mistook the mention of a TV news live truck for a livestock truck.
I said something about, Scandera going to the livestock truck. I should have stopped there. And then I said, moo moo oink oink, which is totally inappropriate. I know people will believe what they want to believe. It really didn't. The moo moo oink oink had nothing really to do with Scandera in my mind. It had more to do with the livestock truck.
Still, the superintendent, who was open about Scandera and over the governor's education agenda, says that he apologized to Scandera and the staff. Scandera, who hasn't been shy about criticizing Brooks and APS, was not available for an interview, but her office sent us a statement saying that the secretary did see his comments and finds them to be disparaging and disappointing. APS school board president and the board will meet with Brooks on Friday morning to discuss the tweet.
We all know that he's very apologetic for it, but as a board, we really need to decide, what's the appropriate form of discipline, if any.
Now, Scandera has pointed out that this is the second week in a row that Brooks has tweeted something disparaging and disappointing about her. Last week, he retweeted a photo that showed Scandera and the governor on puppet strings in an apology letter to all APS employees. Brooks said that he failed to be a role model for students. APS constantly, by the way, reminds students about bullying and name-calling on social media.
All right, 6:04 now. Some other parents are upset this morning, not because of that tweet, but because of what New Mexico's education leaders are doing to evaluate struggling schools. The controversy is with a plan to ask elementary school students what they think of their teachers. It's part of a performance audit the state is doing for schools with a D or an F grading. That includes Ventana Ranch Elementary in the northwest part of Albuquerque. Yesterday, parents there got letters explaining that, quote, APS employees may be talking directly to their students about their teachers and how well they do in the classroom. But parents say that the questioning here is going too far.
For how young they are, I don't think they really have an opinion to say how they're doing.
I don't think that they're going to be objective, and I don't think it's going to give them the information that they're looking for.
The Public Education Department says parents can choose whether they want their kids interviewed. Students would be asked a series of questions in a group setting to try to make things more comfortable.
A Navajo Nation judge accused of bribery claims he didn't do anything wrong. The Farmington Daily Times reports that Judge Roy So Jr. of the Kayenta Judicial District Court tried to bribe a tribal prosecutor in Shiprock. Now, according to the paper, it was to dismiss criminal charges against his relatives. According to the paper, So says the relatives hadn't been formally charged. The tribal Supreme Court placed So on administrative leave last month. The former UNM president, once accused of running an online brothel, wants police to return his personal property. You see, in 2011, Chris Garcia was charged with promoting prostitution for allegedly being a leader of a website that linked Johns to prostitutes. But a judge later ruled that a website is not a physical house of prostitution under New Mexico law, so Garcia's charges were dismissed. During the investigation, police seized items from his home and UNM office, including money, computers, and a cell phone. A judge recently agreed with the request to have all of his items returned. An Albuquerque man who shot and killed a teen a few years back will soon learn his fate. The sentencing hearing for Lorenzo Velarde is set to start today. Investigators say he shot and killed John Valenzuela back in 2009. The victim was playing football in southwest Albuquerque near Rio Grande High School when he was shot in the chest as Velarde and two other teens drove by. Velarde, who was 17 at the time, was convicted of murder.
If you're on Social Security or you get veterans benefits, today is your chance to speak up about the possibility of you getting less money very soon. Congress is thinking about reducing Social Security and veterans' cost of living adjustments even more. Technically, they call these the chained CPI. Voice your opinion about this today at 2 o'clock at the Raymond G. Murphy VA Medical Center in Albuquerque. And a veteran in Albuquerque and his family will soon have a safer home. Today, the Home Depot Foundation is partnering with Operation Homefront to fix a disabled Navy veteran's home. More than 70 volunteers are going to go out and help update the home and make it safe for the veteran and his wife, who is also in the Navy, and their 5-year-old son. Can't wait till that is done.